Hello everybody and good evening. My name is Liam Kenny and I'm here to bring you up to date on the latest details on life-threatening Hurricane Ida. This system is intensifying as we speak, and according to the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center, it is forecasted to become a major Category 4 hurricane at landfall with maximum sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. When I think of that, it just blows my mind the strength that this beast is going to have. It became a Category 1 hurricane today, right after lunch, as a 75 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane made its first landfall just to the southern island, just south of Cuba, has been pounding the whole entire island of Cuba today with extremely heavy winds, extremely heavy rain, and also a lot of storm surge as those onshore winds were pushing all of those waves onshore. Let's get right into the video and first look at the satellite on this massive beast. Once again, a Category 1 hurricane breaking now that this system is forecasted to become a major Category 4 hurricane by the time it makes landfall. Here's the enhanced satellite, and what this shows you is the deepest convection where the biggest thunderstorms are trying to form in the lowest levels of the atmosphere. There was the eye trying to form. I think it's lost a little bit of its strength. You can kind of see somewhat of an eye wall replacement cycle trying to happen, and what that is that the original eye, it disappears, and also a brand new eye forms. And when that happens, the new eye is going to be wider, but it's not going to be as strong. And that is something that we always like to see with these systems, because that is a sign of weakening. You can kind of see at the beginning of this loop how we did have a pretty good eye. It kind of went under the clouds, and now we kind of have a new eye forming. That is what is also known as an eye wall replacement cycle. Plenty of outer bands on the eastern side of this. You can kind of see that everything is on this northeastern side, which is really the trend with all of the tropical systems we get here in the United States. Here's a look at the visible satellite, and what this is that if you're basically in a spaceship or in a plane very, very high, if you look down, this is what you would be seeing right here. So once again, there's a center just to the northwest of the island. This is where it made its first landfall as a Category 1 hurricane. It's now an 80 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane, and as you can guess, it is very forecasted to strengthen a lot. Here is the latest advisory on Hurricane Ida. I forgot to change this location. Don't mind this, please. This is I think just about 50 miles north of Cuba. That's where the center of it is right now. Its current maximum sustained winds are 80 miles an hour with a low minimum pressure of 980 millibars, and is moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. And as you can see on our selector, because it has winds of 80 miles per hour, it is a Category 1. And over the next couple of days, we're going to be going from Category 1 through Category 2, Category 3, and then we're definitely going to be making it to Cat 4. Is it out of the question for it to become a Category 5? Not at all. Every single time I've looked at the trend and also on the forecast track, I've seen strengthening in every single one. The first one I saw making it to Category 2, the next one I saw making it to Category 3, and now we're seeing it go to Category 4. So it is by no means out of the way for Ida to become a major Category 5 hurricane. Now, this system, if it becomes a Category 4 or a Category 3 at landfall, it will be the first major landfalling hurricane in the United States. We already had our first landfalling major hurricane in the Caribbean. That was with Hurricane Grace last week as a major Category 3. But as far as landfalling U.S. systems go, if Ida maintains Category 3, Category 3, Category 4, or maybe even Category 5 strength, it will be the first landfalling major hurricane of the season. Now, when you look at this track, I just get scared. If you live in eastern Texas, the whole entire state of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, I am honestly scared for you guys, okay? Just to put into perspective of what I'm feeling with this system, if you live in the whole entire coastline of Louisiana, if you have not evacuated yet, you need to, right now, go pack your bags and go and get out of your home, okay? Let me tell you, you can always replace your homes, your cars, and everything else like that. But with the Category 4 making landfall, with winds of 140 miles an hour or greater, it's not worth the risk, okay? I understand. I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to leave my pets. I don't want to leave my car and everything. But when it comes to choosing life or death, you always have to go with the safest possible case scenario. So as you can see, we're still maintaining Category 1 strength as we head into early tomorrow morning, becoming a 100-mile-per-hour Category 1, becoming a major hurricane this time tomorrow, going from Category 1 in the morning, probably reaching Category 2 by noon tomorrow, and then becoming a major hurricane, Category 3, tomorrow afternoon with winds of 105 miles an hour. Then, as you can see, still strengthening, now we're making it to Category 4 Sunday afternoon with winds of 140 miles per hour. We are 15 miles an hour shy of becoming a Category 5. We are two categories away from the worst hurricane ever recorded. Just to put that into perspective for you, if we go up one more category, we can't go any higher than that. Okay, we're looking at a Category 4 making landfall Sunday afternoon with winds just sustained at 140, potentially gusting over 155 miles per hour. Okay, I can barely even stand at 60 miles an hour. Think about what the people are going to be going through with winds of 140 miles per hour. That is just absolutely insane. And not only will this be a coastal threat, this will be a threat all the way across the Mississippi River Valley, getting into Alabama, Georgia, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe even into the Carolinas as we go towards Tuesday and Wednesday. The system is going to be a very fast mover until it gets up to this point right here. Then it's going to slow down a little bit and impact this area so very hard with extremely heavy winds, extremely heavy rainfall, several feet of storm surge, and so much flooding. This is going to be a devastating system for millions of Americans, especially across the Gulf Coast, okay? So as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, now we're going to be finally down to a tropical depression with winds around 25 miles an hour. So obviously, definitely not as strong as what we're going to be seeing here along the northern Gulf Coast. But if you have any friends or family members that have not left yet, if they live in eastern Texas, the whole entire coastline of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, you need to call them right after I get done live streaming and tell them to get out now. Go get a hotel somewhere, either in Texas, in Arkansas, Nashville, maybe in Birmingham, Alabama. Just get out of this general area. We could potentially be seeing winds well over 160 miles per hour. When I think of that, that is just absolutely beyond anything I could possibly think of. Here are the spaghetti models, and once again, these are all the different models giving you their own opinion of what they think is going to happen. So really, every single one of them is in agreement that it will be going from this direction throughout the central Gulf Coast and then making landfall in southeastern Louisiana. Will it be a little bit more back towards the west or more towards the east? I'm leaning more toward the east, number one, because most of the models are there, and also, as the new advisories have been coming in, all of the shifts have been in this eastern direction. So yes, it could go more towards the west, but most of the models are leaning toward this eastern side, and that puts New Orleans in the outer cloud wall. That is the worst part of the hurricane. If we have a Category 4 hurricane with winds of 140 miles an hour, that puts New Orleans and also this whole entire eastern coastline in an area that could potentially be seeing wind gusts well over 120 miles an hour. I'm just going to put it right there. If you get into the outer cloud wall, and we're seeing a Category 4, potentially Category 5 making landfall, it is almost guaranteed that you will see wind gusts upwards of 130, 140, potentially even getting up to 150. Just absolutely incredible what some people are going to be going through. As you can see, here are the intensity models. Basically, over 50% of them having it make into at least Cat 4, and now we're starting to see some models get very, very close to Category 5. Category 5 has wind speeds upwards of 156. Right now we're at 140, so we're only about 15 to 16 miles shy of Category 5. So it is by no means out of the question that Hurricane Ida could potentially become a major Category 5 hurricane by the time it makes landfall. Thankfully, though, as soon as it gets on land, it will not be a hurricane for very long because it is forecasted to be so strong at landfall. Let me go back to this graphic. Because it is forecasted to be so strong at landfall, it will probably be a Category 1 hurricane by the time we get to this point in time, it will be going down to a tropical storm as it crosses the border of Louisiana and Mississippi. But really, up until this point, from this point south, you're probably going to be in hurricane conditions for at least 5 to 6 hours. You'll probably be looking at sustained winds anywhere in the 30 to 40 mile an hour range, but we could easily be seeing wind gusts well over 130 miles an hour, especially if you live in New Orleans, Homa, and then any of these eastern coastal areas. You need to be boarding up now and leaving your house right after we get done with this, okay? This is going to be a life or death situation, especially for people in this general area. So just a very, very, very scary thing to think of that could potentially be happening. As you might have guessed, because we are potentially witnessing a Category 4 make landfall, we obviously have hurricane warnings up just to the east of Lake Charles, throughout the whole entire southeastern Louisiana coastline. New Orleans, you are included in that. Biloxi and also Gulfport, Mississippi, you are in a tropical storm warning. And then also some portions of southern Alabama, you are in a tropical storm watch, really indicating that you could see tropical storm conditions, aka wind gusts upwards of 30 to 40 miles an hour, potentially a couple of inches of rain, and maybe some storm surge depending on how strong the onshore push is. The onshore push is going to be extremely strong right in this general area because that is where the center is going to be going right over. Wherever that outer cloud wall is going to be going over, that is the strongest part of the system, and it'll most likely be going right here. They're saying it's going to make landfall somewhere right in there, so that puts the outer cloud wall going right over New Orleans, Louisiana, a very populated place. Could be getting absolutely devastated by a Category 4 hurricane within the next 36 to 48 hours. And our center is right here. We do have hurricane warnings up, considering that Ida is now a Category 1 hurricane with winds of 80 miles an hour. We still have tropical storm warnings just to the east of those hurricane warnings, indicating that we could definitely be seeing tropical storm conditions in that general area. Let me just check my phone real fast to see if anybody is texting me about the storm. No. Oh, hang on a second. Alright, sorry about that. So once again, talking about that onshore push, look at these storm surge numbers. Let me go to this side. 7 to 11 feet of storm surge going just to the south of Morgan City, throughout the whole entire southeastern coastline, and then eventually up towards Gulfport, Mississippi. Once again, the center is going to be right in this general area because it's going to be rotating counterclockwise in this general direction. All of the outer bands are going to be pushing this way, along with winds potentially gusting over 100 miles an hour. Mobile, Alabama, you were in that 3 to 5 range. Gulfport, you were in that 7 to 11 feet. New Orleans and Lake Pontchartrain, you were in 4 to 6 feet. Just to the north of Morgan City, 3 to 5 feet. Lake Charles, where Hurricane Laura made landfall this time last year, actually, I think it was last year. Today's the 1 year anniversary of Hurricane Laura making landfall. That was a Category 4 winds 150. So thankfully, though, I think the worst impacts are going to be definitely to the east of you, but you can easily still be seeing 2 to 4 feet of storm surge. Anywhere in this general area, just to the southwest of Morgan City, 4 to 7. But the worst impacts of all for storm surge, right where the center is going to be, in this general area, 7 to 11 feet. I'm about 5'7", 5'8". Think about over me, like probably, over my roof. That's how high they were saying the storm surge can get in this general area. When I think about that, it just blows my mind the power that Ida could be bringing to this general area. A 90 to 100% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. That is wind gusts over 60 miles an hour, just sustained. Not gusting, sustained at 60 miles an hour. Anywhere in this purple area, you have a 90 to 100% chance, almost a guaranteed, basically saying that you will definitely be seeing wind gusts sustained at 50 to 60 miles an hour. Because the system will be a Category 4 at landfall, gusts, as far as gusts go, probably over 130. Absolutely incredible. Lake Charles, you were in that 50 to 60 range, so about a 50-50 shot of seeing tropical storm force winds. Mobile, Alabama, you're not in the greatest chance. You're in that 30 to 40% chance. But other than that, this whole area in this pink, it is basically guaranteed. You will at least see winds sustained, not gusting, but sustained at least 50 to 60 miles an hour. Just absolutely incredible. This system is going to be a drencher of a monsoon. Easily 8 to 12 inches of rain, especially right along here where the center will be going. Easily at least a foot of rain. Anywhere where these outer bands are coming on through, from New Orleans up to southwestern Mississippi, 5 to 8 inches of rain. There in Jacksonville, probably around 3 to 5. Up towards Memphis, maybe in that 2 to 3, 3 to 5 range. As we head towards Lake Charles, maybe in that 2 to 3, 3 to 5 inches of rain. And then last but not least, Mobile and Gulfport, you are right in this general area, easily over 5 to 8 inches of rain. A life and death situation is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Just to put it into perspective for you. Now let's go ahead and talk about what is strengthening this system. If you know your weather facts well, you should know that the three things that affect a tropical system strengthening is very warm sea surface temperatures, plenty of available atmospheric moisture, and also no wind shear. Our system is right here, where sea surface temperatures are in the low 80s. As we continue into tomorrow, Sunday, and then eventually into Sunday night, when this monster of a storm will be making landfall, now we're going to be in the mid to high 80s, potentially even low 90s. And also a thing to keep in mind that I saw right here, right along the coastline of eastern Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, it is very, very shallow there. We're probably talking about water depths 20 to 30 feet. It really doesn't get that deep until you get to this general area. So that means all the water, all that warm water that is going to fuel the system is going to be all pushed up to the surface. And as that is being evaporated into the atmosphere, that could 100% chance bring Ida to a Category 5. So we obviously have the very warm sea surface temperatures, plenty of atmospheric moisture. Our deepest moisture is right here along the center. And then as soon as we get into the Gulf of Mexico, we're still in that very, very, very moist area. It's not going to be as moist as it is right now in the Caribbean, but we still have plenty of moisture out here in the Gulf of Mexico, along with those very warm sea surface temperatures. And I don't believe I have a graphic for wind shear, but let me tell you, I'm being completely honest with you, there is no wind shear anywhere in the Gulf of Mexico that could potentially break down Ida. So we have everything that we need to form a perfect hurricane. Obviously, once again, plenty of warm temperatures, especially right along the coastline where that shelf is. All that water being pushed up to the surface, being evaporated into the atmosphere, and fueling Ida. Plenty of moisture to fuel Ida, along with all of those very warm sea surface temperatures. Just absolutely incredible. Let's talk about some of the impacts. For example, a place like New Orleans, Louisiana. Storm surge easily in that severe level, up to 4 to 6 feet. Extremely heavy rainfall, 8 to 12 inches. And once again, you will probably be feeling the cyclone intensity, wrong way. You'll probably be feeling the cyclone intensity in that Category 2 range with wind gusts upwards of 100 miles an hour. Here's Lake Charles, Louisiana. Once again, today last year, Hurricane Laura made landfall as a 150 mile per hour Category 4. So we're back in it again, but thankfully nowhere close to the impacts that we saw with Hurricane Laura. Because we're going to be on that western side where all the winds are going to be pushing offshore, we could see a little bit of storm surge considering how strong the system is going to be by the time it makes landfall. But if we do see anything, it's going to be in that 2 to 4 feet range. Nothing we can't handle. Nothing like what New Orleans, Huma, and then also Gulfport, Mississippi is going to be seeing. Heavy rainfall, because we're going to be getting some of those outer bands that could be heavy at times, we could be in that moderate stage, indicating that we could see 3 to 5 inches of rain. It really won't be as strong as everything to the east of you. And because you're going to be on that western side, you're not even really in the track or the forecast cone with Ida. You might see some tropical storm force winds upwards of 50 miles an hour with some good wind damage. But other than that, your threats are going to be generally low. Really, the more east you go, the more chance you have of seeing the worst impacts. And a place that is right along the coastline, dead in the middle of the forecast track, Huma, Louisiana, you are going to be in it for the long run. Let me just tell you that. Extremely severe storm surge, 7 to 11 feet of storm surge. Extremely heavy rain, 8 to 12 inches, almost up to a foot of rain or more. Cyclone intensity, Category 4. Wind gusts over 130 miles per hour with extreme wind damage. We're talking about homes being completely leveled, boats being tied off the dock or being pulled off the dock, tons of tree limbs down, potentially on people's homes, power lines down. fires. These are all possible case scenarios when we have wind gusts in this range, in that major hurricane stage. Just absolutely incredible. I'm monitoring the questions that you guys are putting in the live chat. Miss Linda Lukey commented, hope the levees can hold up or New Orleans will be in big trouble once again. That is absolutely correct. We just, please, if you are not in the track, when you go to bed tonight, if you pray before you go to bed, please, 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 please keep the people of New Orleans, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky in your deepest prayers, because they are about to get hit by a monster of a hurricane. I'm going to go ahead and show you the current guidance model on a website that I use very, very often. It's called Tropical Tidbits. This is where I get my latest models off of, the satellites, the spaghetti models, the intensity forecasts, everything. If you're an aspiring meteorologist just like I am, and you're looking for a website to get your data off of, definitely recommend Tropical Tidbits and also weathernerds.org. So let's go ahead now and see the latest guidance from this monster of a storm. Let me go over here to my computer and change this. Alrighty. So here's our storm right now, just off basically I think it's actually right along the western tip of Cuba right now as we speak. And also another thing to keep in mind, watch how low the pressure is going to get as it gets into those very warm ocean waters, and also the area that has plenty of moisture, especially as it is nearing landfall. Is there now going to be a bigger chance it's going to hit New York City? Let me see, as soon as it advances to New York City, let me see how it plays out. Alright, so let's play this out. So here we are. This is tomorrow. Now we're at a pressure of 977 millibars. Now we're easily at borderline Cat 2, potential Category 3. Now we're looking at the major hurricane stage. And also another thing to keep in mind, you see how these little circles are so close together? The closer those circles are together, the I guess you could say the stronger the winds are. That is indicating stronger winds as those circles push closer and closer together. Alright, here we go. 959 millibars, August 29th, just off the coast. Let me tell you, we're not going to be seeing impacts until about right here. Even if the center is still in the central Gulf, we're still going to be seeing impacts. That's how big this system is going to be. This storm is just going to be a monster. Okay, let me just put it that way. We're probably going to start to see impacts right here. Wind gusts easily upwards of 50 miles an hour. And then, the worst part of all, the landfall. 966 millibars, borderline Category 4, Cat 4, borderline Category 5. Extremely strong winds, onshore push, storm surge, potentially over 9 feet, extremely heavy rain bands, potentially forming some tornadoes, especially in western Alabama and southeastern Mississippi, and also eastern Louisiana. And then look at this. We're still on the same day, and it is still in Louisiana. Look at this massive hurricane. Let me get that off my screen. Interrupting me during a broadcast. How rude of them. Anyways, still the same day. We're still getting that onshore push. We're still getting the potential tornadic activity. The extremely heavy rain. The closer the circles are together, the stronger the winds. Just absolutely incredible. Just absolutely incredible to think about. And also, keep in mind, now we're going to be on the opposite side of the area of low pressure. Now we're going to be seeing an onshore push this way, potentially impacting the panhandle of Florida. All right, here we go. Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, the Carolinas, Ohio River Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and last but not least, real fast, New York City. Here we go. Northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern New York City is right where that area of low pressure is, right there. Extremely heavy rainfall in eastern New York, northwestern Connecticut, central Massachusetts, Rhode Island, the whole entire mid-Atlantic is going to be playing. And also, our friends here in the Carolinas, they're also going to be playing too, and we're still going to be seeing some scattered showers left behind this massive system after it makes landfall. So I'm going to play this again. I'm going to play it so I can be at the screen at the same time. Here we go. Category 3, Category 4, potential Category 5, landfall, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Carolinas, Ohio River Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and then New England. Just absolutely incredible. Thankfully, though, this ridge of high pressure is going to be coming down to the south, and that will bring some drier conditions. But until then, we're going to be in it for the long run. Here's the play again. Category 2, Cat 3, Cat 4, landfall, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Carolinas, Ohio River Valley, Mid-Atlantic, New England, Northeast, done. Area of high pressure comes in, dries everything up. Wow. Thankfully, though, it doesn't look like this area will be hit too much hard after Ida hits, so that will give them time to repair and rebuild everything, because I would be shocked if this thing does not do any damage, considering the strength that Hurricane Ida is supposed to become. Just absolutely incredible what we are going to be looking at over the next 38 to 48 hours to come. Once again, if you live in the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee, especially in Louisiana, I understand it is very, very hard to leave your house not knowing what's going to happen. Just please think about your life is more important than anything else. It's more important than your house. It's more important than your job. It's more important than your car. Anything else you might do as far as community work, it's not worth the risk. I guarantee you, if you do anything else beside those, they're probably going to be canceled or rescheduled because of this massive monster coming in. So once again, if local authorities are telling you to leave, don't disregard their warnings. If they tell you to leave, please leave now. Take everything with you that you can, your pets, your loved ones, a generator, any medications that you might have, prescriptions, medical bills, insurance things, anything else like that you can take with you to wherever you're going, take this with you. Obviously, you can't take your house, and I know it is extremely hard to leave your house. I mean, if I was in the cone of this thing and it was making landfall, I would be so worried to think about what could potentially happen to my house and all my belongings while I'm not here. But I'm gonna know that I'm gonna be coming back alive to my house. My house may be completely devastated, but I am still alive, and I can still be on this earth and rebuild my house, get a new car, and start things over. You can't start your life over. I know that might be very hard to think about, but you can't do that. I know it's going to be an extremely hard decision, especially for people along the southeastern coast of Louisiana, but I just want to really express the severity level of this system. And also, let me tell you, we are now at the end of August. The peak of the season is not until September 10th. We are not even at the peak of the season yet, and we're already seeing a potential Category 4, maybe even Category 5 making landfall along the northern Gulf Coast. I cannot stress this enough. If you live in Louisiana, please evacuate and go somewhere else. Go either to Texas, Arkansas, Alabama. You should be fine. Georgia, Florida, the Carolinas, anywhere that is not right here. Don't stay right here. Go anywhere else. Let me get this stupid ad off my screen. I'm going to pause this thing right at the landfall just so that way you guys can get the severity level of it. Just absolutely incredible. Again, I cannot stress this enough. If you live where this monster is going to be coming, please evacuate go somewhere else. If you have any loved ones that live in this general area, ask if you can go stay with them. If not, rent a hotel or somewhere else. Just get out of there. We're going to be seeing a potential just wrecking ball come through the city of New Orleans, Houma, Gulfport, all these areas that are in the path of this beast or monster. There is most likely going to be hardly anything left. Once again, we're seeing wind gusts potentially upwards of 150, potentially over 155 miles an hour. I know for a fact that I can't stand in winds over 60 miles an hour. But just put into perspective what these people are going through. If you can't stand in wind gusts over 60 miles an hour, we're looking at wind gusts over 150 miles per hour. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. Please evacuate. Leave your home. Go somewhere else until this massive beast is over. Okay? I'm going to leave it there. I know it's up to you. I know it's your decision whether you stay or leave. But please, 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 if you live in this general area, leave now. Okay? This is going to be a catastrophic event coming into the southern United States as Category 4, major Category 4 Hurricane Ida makes landfall Sunday afternoon in the northern Gulf Coast. Alright? That is basically all I have to present. It is currently 7:02 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'm going to give you guys till about 7:10 or about 7:05 to ask me anything else you might have in the comments below. I will more than happy answer anything you might have concerning Major Hurricane Ida as it inches closer and closer to the northern Gulf Coast. While you do that, I'm going to check my phone to see if I have any notifications on the system that I can alert you of. I do not think anything has happened recently. Alright. For those of you who were hoping to participate in my live trivia event tonight, because of this massive storm making landfall within the next 48 hours, I have rescheduled it to next Tuesday at 6:45, still same time in the afternoon, but because the system is going to be such a big impact, I have moved the date back a couple of days until next Tuesday. Once again, my live trivia night has been rescheduled and pushed back till next Tuesday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I see that we have 4 viewers left. Anybody that is currently watching, any of you 4 viewers have any questions for me that I can answer before we go ahead and wrap up tonight's stream? I will be working tomorrow, unfortunately. It's gonna be killing me that I can't be on my phone and looking at this system. I will probably be doing just a video tomorrow night after I get home, but thankfully, though, as the system is going to be impacting Louisiana on Sunday, I will be off all day on Sunday, and as you might have guessed, I will be here every step of the way as the system makes landfall. I will be live streaming on my Twitter, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, and also right here on my YouTube channel all day long. I will be broadcasting the live landfall of this system. I will have live cameras from New Orleans, Biloxi, Gulfport, Houma, everywhere else that I can get to put it into perspective and show you how bad the system is going to be. If you're one of those people that are watching that have to evacuate and you want to see what's going on, please join that. You can see from your phone what is going to be happening right here on my YouTube channel. Be sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. You hit that notification button, turn it to all, so that way whenever I post videos, you get notified immediately whenever anything happens. Once again, I will be live all day Sunday covering everything you need to know about Hurricane Ida. Once again, live on my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, and also on my YouTube channel to make sure you know every single possible detail to know to stay safe on this massive wrecking ball, Category 4 Hurricane Ida. Any tornadoes highly possibly during landfall? Yes, that is very possible. A lot of times you see whenever tropical systems are making landfall, as they come on shore, we do get a change in wind direction, especially in the top layers of the atmosphere, and as that wind change is happening, we can easily get spin-ups or tornadic supercells. The thing about tornadic storms coming from tropical storms is that they're extremely fast-moving, and even if they do any damage on the ground, they're going to be very, very, very short-lived, even more short-lived than average tornadoes, and average tornadoes are really short-lived anyways. So if we do get a tornado touchdown during Ida as it's making landfall, it will probably not be on the ground more than 2 or 3 minutes. It could still be doing some massive wind damage, obviously considering the eye wall with the system along with tornadoes. But yes, it is definitely a possibility we could see some tornadoes during the live stream. I'll be behind the camera part of the time and also in front of the camera. I'll try and bring up the radar and turn on the reflectivity and the velocity so that way we can see if we see any rotation on there. So yes, it is definitely a possibility to see some tornadoes during the landfall of Hurricane Ida. But I will be with you every single step of the way. Come Sunday, I will have all my radars up, all the cameras I can have up, everything, the whole 9 yards to make sure you stay safe as this monster of a hurricane makes landfall on the northern United States Gulf Coast. Alright, it's now 7:06. I'm going to give you guys till 7:10, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's live stream. Once again, if you're just joining us, Hurricane Ida is now forecasted to become a major Category 4 hurricane at landfall with wind speeds of 140 miles an hour. What was that notification? Was that something? Was that like a different YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to potentially? Maybe. Anyways, if you're just joining us now, we have the brand new latest advisory on Hurricane Ida. It is now forecasted to become a major Category 4 hurricane at landfall southwest of New Orleans, Louisiana, as a 140 mile per hour Category 4 hurricane, potentially getting up to Category 5, the worst stage ever a hurricane can get in the Atlantic or Pacific Basin. Alright. Give y'all 3 more minutes to ask me anything you might have, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream. I will still be doing, you can check out my website also. I have posted all the latest details on my website. All you have to do, open a brand new browser on your computer or your phone. Type in Liam's Weather. Oops, wrong button. Where is the L in here? There it is. liamsweather.org. Enter. Right here on the left, you see where it says Hurricane Ida. Click where it says that. And then, here's all the latest details on Hurricane Ida. Latest advisory, forecast track, satellite, current warnings. If you press this little link right here, it takes you to the infrared satellite loop. Alright? Current warnings, hurricane warnings, tropical storm warnings, hurricane watches, tropical storm watch, storm surge. Look at that. 10 to 15 feet. Holy moly. They've increased this since the last time I checked it. 2 to 4 feet, Lake Charles. 6 to 9 feet, Morgan City. 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. Right where the eye is going to be coming on shore. 7 to 11 feet. Eastern Louisiana. Gulfport, Mississippi. 4 to 7 feet. New Orleans, Louisiana, including Lake Pontchartrain. As you continue eastward, 4 to 7 feet, just to the east of Gulfport. 2 to 4 feet back down into Mobile, Alabama. But look at this right here. 10 to 15 feet, y'all. That is like swimming pool, that is like deep swimming pool depth. This is what could potentially be coming on shore as this massive storm makes landfall. That is just absolutely beyond anything I've ever seen in all my years studying hurricanes when they make landfall. Wow. That is all I can say to that. Wow. With an exclamation point at the end. Holy moly. Here's your chance of seeing hurricane wind force probabilities. This is not wind gusts. This is sustained winds and hurricane force. Right here, in this giant area, you're probably going to be seeing sustained winds of at least 60 miles an hour. In Lafayette, in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, you're going to be anywhere from that 30 to 50% range. Just absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible. Continue to scroll down. Rainfall, 8 to 12, 5 to 8, 3 to 5, 2 to 3, 1 to 2, less than 1. That's what the colors mean when looking at a rainfall chart. Okay? In that dark red, 8 to 12, orange, 5 to 8, yellow, 3 to 5, 2 to 4, dark green, middle green, 1 to 2, last but not least, light green, probably either getting up to 1 or just less than 1. The landfall is going to be somewhere right in there. Wow. If these graphics, if you live in Louisiana and you're looking at these graphics and this doesn't make you want to evacuate, I don't know what else I can say or show you on here to make you want to evacuate. We're looking at, quote unquote here, a life-threatening situation. I'll say it again. You're looking at, quote unquote, a life-threatening situation unfolding here on the northern Gulf Coast, especially in the southeastern tip of Louisiana. Just absolutely incredible. And this is not, and we're not done after Ida. We are not even at the peak of the season yet. The peak is September 10th. We're still about 10 to 15 days away from that, and we're already looking at a borderline Category 4, potentially Category 5, making landfall. Just absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. There's the spaghetti models. This graphic hasn't updated. This is definitely going to be now Category 4. I'm not sure why this hasn't updated yet. It also should say Hurricane Ida, so please disregard this graphic. Let me go back up here. This is the intensity model right here. Category 4, potentially almost Category 5. Okay, please disregard that. So once again, if this graphic doesn't want to make you evacuate, especially if you live in this general area, I don't know what else I can say or show you on my screen to make you want to evacuate. 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. Well over your first floor, potentially over your roof of your house. This is going to go well over the roof of a car. Please do not think about riding this out in your car. That is the worst possible thing you can do. My best advice, if you're planning to try and ride this out, shelter like you would for a tornado. Get in the most interior room of your house. I suggest either under stairs, under your stairwell if you have a closet in there, a hall closet where you keep your coats. If you have an indoor bathroom, go there. Shelter like you would for a tornado. Put a helmet on to protect yourself from falling debris. If there's any glass being broke, put some shoes on so as you're getting up and getting out of your shelter, you don't break anything or you potentially cut yourself on that. Make sure you have a no weather radio or you have some way for local authorities to tell you it is safe to get out. Just absolutely incredible. Please prepare now. If you have anything outdoors, for example, lawn furniture, maybe some of the kids left some of the toys outside, like balls or anything else like that, bring those inside to your garage. Put something inside your garage on the door to keep your garage door from breaking open. That is how strong of winds you're talking. Even though, yes, the garage door is pretty strong, try and sturdy it more. If you can screw some bolts and try and make it tighter or put something in front of it that might prevent you from getting any water in there, do that. Bring everything you can that is very light inside. Doesn't have to be your garage. Just put it somewhere where it won't get blown away. And please do not go shelter in an outdoor shed. That is the worst possible thing that you can do. I guarantee if you try and do that, that thing will be ripped to shreds within 3 to 4 hours of this thing, especially if you're in that area that has 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. I mean, even 3 to 5 is enough. Anywhere in this general area, east of Lake Charles, Morgan City, Houma is basically right there. Bless your heart, Houma. You are about to get absolutely slammed by the worst possible conditions with Ida. This general area, 7 to 11. Lake Pontchartrain and New Orleans, 4 to 7. Mobile and Gulfport, 4 to 7 and 2 to 4. Just absolutely incredible. All right, I stayed out here a lot longer than I thought I was going to, just because I saw these graphics and I wanted to show you everything. But that is really all I have for you all tonight. I'm going to give you guys just a couple more minutes. I know I already said this, but give you until 7:18 to ask me anything you might have, and then I'm going to go ahead and end up tonight's stream. I really do appreciate y'all joining me tonight and trusting me with everything involving Ida and all tropical systems affecting the United States this year. It is going to be an extremely active season to come. Once again, the peak of the hurricane season is September 10th. We are now on August 27th, so still about 13 to 15 days away from the peak of the season, and we're already seeing a Category 4 potentially making landfall. Hurricane Ida is the name. Making landfall this Sunday, potentially as a major Category 4 hurricane with wind speeds upwards of 140 miles an hour. Absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. No other words to put it. Life and death situation, life-threatening storm surge, extremely heavy wind gusts, well over 150 miles an hour, a life-threatening situation unfolding here in the northern Gulf Coast this weekend. Just absolutely incredible. All right. One more minute to ask me anything you might have, and I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Once again, I will not be doing anything tomorrow with Ida. I have to work all day. I will be doing all-day live coverage of Sunday as Ida is making landfall. Right now, the forecast track is for it to make landfall at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Obviously, I will be live throughout the whole entire day, once again on my Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram, and obviously on YouTube with every single detail you need to know on Hurricane Ida. All right, one more minute. Alrighty. I see that we have some new viewers. Welcome to the stream. I'm actually about to end it. But if you have any questions for me that you'd like to be answered about Hurricane Ida, please feel free. Because we just got more viewers, I'm gonna wait till 7:20 now to ask me anything you might have. Let me go do a brief rundown. Here's a satellite. Category 1 hurricane forecast is becoming Category 4. Latest forecast track, 80 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane, northwest at 15 miles an hour. Forecasted to become a Category 4 at landfall, wind speeds of 140 miles an hour. Here's the spaghetti models. Intensity models potentially getting upwards of Category 5. Hurricane warnings in effect for southeastern Louisiana, including the western tip of Cuba. Tropical storm warnings out for places like Gulf War, Mississippi, and also Lake Charles, Louisiana. 7 to 11 feet of storm surge potentially at play here in southeastern Louisiana. A 90 to 100% chance of seeing tropical storm force when sustained anywhere in the purple area right there. Easily over 8 inches of rain, potentially over a foot of rain in southeastern Louisiana. Water temperatures plenty warm, plenty of available moisture. Some of the impact for Louisiana, 4 to 6 feet of storm surge, 8 to 12 inches of rain, and wind gusts potentially over 110 miles an hour. Lake Charles, Louisiana, storm surge 2 to 4 feet. Heavy rain, potentially 3 to 5 inches, and because you're going to be on the western side, potentially wind gusts upwards of 50 miles an hour. And last but not least, Houma, Louisiana, 7 to 11 feet of storm surge, potentially more than that. 8 to 12 inches of rain, and wind gusts potentially over 130 miles an hour. Alrighty. So that is going to go ahead and end up the live's update for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching and trusting me to bring you up to date on the latest details on Hurricane Ida. Please be sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. You turn on that notification bell. Also click that like button if you're enjoying the content. And please join me this Sunday as Hurricane Ida becomes a Category 3, potentially Category 4 hurricane with wind speeds well over 130 miles an hour and makes landfall sometime in the afternoon as a major Category 4, potentially Category 5 hurricane. Alright. Once again, that is it for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching and have a great rest of your night. And please, please, please stay safe.